Good afternoon. My name is Emiliano Garcia.
My name is Lorenzo Alvarado.
I'm Leonardo Sanchez.
So, can you explain the ideas of Manifest Destiny and why James K. Polk is the embodiment of the Manifest Destiny in the United States?
I believe, Manifest Destiny, first of all, is something from the 19th century that they believed that they were divinely ordained to expand west for more resources and stuff like that, to expand as a nation.
So as he explained, Manifest Destiny was this belief that they should. It was a religious belief that they should expand through the United States all the way to this other ocean, and I think James Polk embodies this because through his one term he achieved a lot of land for the U.S. 1 million square miles, the Mexican Seas, Oregon, and all those.
Yeah, as y'all mentioned, he kind of just expanded a bunch of land for the United States, and it was a big part. He played a big part in this event, and I think that's why he embodies it more than anyone. So can I discuss some of the positive outcomes, when it comes to the controversies of the presidency of James Polk?
One of the most the main one and the most obvious one is obviously the territorial gain. As they went along, they started conquering new land and gaining new resources and finding new things that the Indians obviously discovered. But as they displaced them, they got new things.
Yeah, I think two of his positive outcomes is that he achieved everything in one term, everything that he said he was going to achieve, and the massive territorial expansion.
I believe that that he discovered California, he kind of conquered California, and he opened the door to the Pacific. And shortly after this, he ended up getting the gold rush, which I think was a pretty positive outcome, and it kind of grew the national economy. So, if y'all happen to be a teacher,
no, we need the cons.
Yeah, the controversy.
Oh, it's cons. All right. And what do you think of the cons are about this?
I think one of the main ones is the expansion of slavery, and as they went on and conquered new land, there was always the main question is this going to be a slave state? Is this going to be somewhere we're going to have slaves or not?
I think another one of his cons would be the removal of Native Americans, that they kept kicking them out of their homes, and then the Mexican-American War, which was very unnecessary.
What do you think are the main controversies of James K. Polk's his presidency?
There you go, though.
I think some of the controversies would be the Mexican-American War, which was very unnecessary because I feel they only fought it because they wanted land, and the removal of Native Americans because they kept kicking them out of their homes, and also it was the expansion of slavery.
I think the main one is the expansion of slavery, because as they conquer new land, they always had the same question: is this going to be a slave state? Are we going to have slaves here? And will that put a bad perspective on James Polk?
Yeah, I think most critics called the war, the Mexican-American War, they called it kind of unjust, and said it was a direct act of aggression and stuff. I think that's kind of one of the controversies, one of the cons of his presidency. So, if y'all were a teacher, and if James K. Polk's presidency was a school project, what grade would you give his presidency?
I would give it an A-, because of his achievements, his goals that he set, mostly all of them he achieved and made, and the deduction of it would be mainly because the humanitarian costs that happened over time because of the new conquered land.
I would also give him an A- because yes, he did achieve everything he wanted to achieve, but I think he also overachieved it because it was too much land, and it kind of set the stage for the breakdown of the Union.
Yeah, I think I'd probably agree with you and give him an A- because he did conquer a lot, and he did play a big role, which would give him the A, but the minus comes from the controversies about the slave trade, the slave state, and the Mexican-American War. So that concludes our video. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.